Hello, welcome to Parking Man. My name's Trevor and this is my YouTube channel. As you can see, I've got Dottie and Toto in the room with me, so anything can and most probably will happen. Today's topic is EVs and what can you get for your money. Right, so I've had a little think about this, how to actually put this into the best context, whether to go by amounts or whether to go by models. And what I'm going to do is go by models. So I've got them all listed down here and hopefully they'll be of some help. Especially in this current climes of all fuel types going up, whether it's petrol, diesel, and electric. Yes, electric is going up, but it's still by far the cheapest type of car to run, especially if you charge it from home, which you would do. So let's start off. What I'm going to touch on is what I've got at the moment, Nissan Leaf. But let's start off with the 24 kilowatt. It's what the Nissan Leaf started out as, a 24 kilowatt. That means it's got the battery size was, when it was new, 24 kilowatts. Most probably its actual size and not a usable size. Usable size most probably going to be about 21, 22 kilowatts. So these started out in 2011. Yes, the Nissan Leaf has been around that long. They started out as Gen 1 vehicles, often with beige interiors, I believe, and they were made in America, not UK. Or America or Japan. I think they made them in both countries. But these really are now the bargain basements. You can get some very good ones. You're going to pay about 5 to 6 grand at the lowest end of the market on one of these. You're going to have about half the battery life left in it. It's going to be a perfectly good car for about 40, 50, possibly if you're lucky on a nice sunny day, 60 miles. But definitely a very, very doable car for your commute to work and taking the kids to school, etc. So most probably a second car is ideal as you go up in price, most probably about 10, 11 grand. That's going to get you a really decent 24 kilowatt Ascenta or Tecna. The Tecnas have leather heated seats, Bose sound system, which is meant to be phenomenal. And they have the slightly larger alloy diamond cut wheels. The Ascenta has cloth seats, not heated, but it has all the usual fully automated lights and wipers, which is what I've got. It's got alloy wheels, but they're slightly smaller, so you do get a little bit more range out of it. It is only a little bit, but every little bit helps. Then you come on to the 30 kilowatt Leafs. These came in at about 2016, I believe it was. Mine's a 2017, and for about 11, 12 grand, you will get a really decent 30 kilowatt Leaf with 11, 12 bars on the battery gauge. 12 bars is what it comes with when it's in really good health, when it left the factory. And mine is still at 12 bars on 31,000 miles. If you're going to rapid charge it all the time, you won't keep your 12 bars that long. They will gradually go down. For about, most probably about 14, 15 grand, you will have an absolutely low mileage, top of the range, 30 kilowatt Leaf. Beauty is when the Nissan batteries aren't the best, they've improved over the years, and nowadays they are by far superior to what they were back in 2011, 2012. However, the beauty is they are modular. So there's companies like Cleverly EV company up in, I think they're Cheltenham, I believe it is. And they, amongst the other companies out there, but there are companies that will salvage battery packs, and some will even redo them so they're all perfect again. And you can actually put into a 24 kilowatt leaf, exchange that for a 40 kilowatt leaf battery, 30 kilowatt leaf battery, or even a 62 with a bit more plumbing going in leaf battery. Obviously they cost money. I think it's about 3 to 4 grand for a 30 kilowatt leaf reconditioned battery, or reclaimed battery should I say. That's the Leaf. Really good cars, really comfy, and you're going to get, you know, my 30 kilowatt one I use for Amazon, and I use it daily. It doesn't let me down. It's absolutely impeccable. Just, it's like a little spaceship, and people do call the Leaf a spaceship because the sound it makes on the outside. So I think it's about up to about 32 miles an hour. It makes it. Did you like that? Let's deal with the complicated one, the Zoe. Oh, the Zoe has come out in so many models, guises and shapes, and well, not shapes, but it's kept the same shape, but so many models over the year. First of all, they did battery leasing. Avoid battery leasing. You don't need battery leasing. You can buy battery lease cars. I think it's about 4 to 6 grand, depending on the battery. It'd be nice if the garage had done that already, because with battery leasing, they're not likely to sell it, to be honest. Battery leasing was where you owned the car but not the battery. You rented that for from £50 to £80 a month, depending on your mileage, from Renault, and you just paid that. And when it got down to a certain level, they would replace the battery. The fact of the matter is, you're unlikely to need the battery replacing at all, ever. So it was a nice little money earner for Renault. Not saying you never did, but some did. Models to look for, about 14, 15 grand. You'll get a 2015, 2016. I would personally go for the Q90 model. I believe that has something like about 140 mile range, and that model actually rapid charges. The R model, I think it was R110, doesn't actually rapid charge. I believe I'm correct in saying. If I'm wrong, put something in comments below to correct me. Thank you. The very early ones had a chameleon charge port. I don't know any rapid chargers or fast chargers that have a chameleon connector on them. So something you want to be careful of and make sure you can connect and charge it up. But the Zoe are perfectly viable. Small car, it's sort of Fiesta size, and yes, they're great little cars if you get the right one. To the world of VWE Up, quite nice and easy. This one came out originally as I believe it was an 18 kilowatt battery, excuse me, which you most want to get about 18, 19 miles range out of. But perfectly doable indeed. I've even considered one of these as a cheaper one. Costs you about 11, 12 grand roughly nowadays. But the latest model is a 38 kilowatt model, and it will do about, you'll get in the region of about 160, 170 plus miles range out of it. Fantastic for a small car. Not Tesla performance, but a brilliant little car. Obviously it's in bed with the Skoda and Seat companies. So you've got the Skoda Citigo and the Seat Me. Identical cars, just different trims, and excuse my squeaky computer seat I'm sitting on, but they are really good cars. If you want a small city car that does the occasional long journey, that's going to give you 170 miles between charges, perfect, absolutely perfect. If you're going for the Skoda model, make sure you get the SEL model. It's the one that rapid charges. Without that, I think it's the L on the end, it doesn't rapid charge. I'm staying in the VW camp. We're going to the e-Golf. E-Golf originally came out with a 24 kilowatt, I believe it was, battery pack, and you'll get a 2016 model of one of these, most probably about the 15 grand mark. Very nice cars, but you've got to bear in mind, a bit like the e-Up, these are dyno fuel cars that have been converted to EVs. So in my eyes, not always the most efficient, but they are perfectly good cars. So they put the batteries in and the motor in where they can, or obviously the motor goes in front or rear axle, but they put the batteries in usually under the back seat and under the floor plan. So you can sit a bit higher up sometimes in these, in the back, than you would in the petrol or diesel derivative. The Golf would have given you around about the 80-90 mile range. Perfectly good cars. Just had that. It is a family car, and it does have. I'm going to kill this squeaky seat in a minute. But it does have limitations on that range if you wanted to go away to halfway across the country on your holiday. However, they did bring out in, I think it was 2018, 2019, the 38 kilowatt. Remember that from the e-Up? Yes, the bigger battery. And in the e-Golf, you'll get about 140 miles range out of it. It's got very good regen, the e-Golf. I know when you go downhill, it does put in a load of regen if you have it on that setting. Very efficient car on that respect, but once again, it is a dyno fuel car that's been converted to an EV. So, very good car. I believe the batteries are really good in it. They're Panasonics. So, yeah, they're not cheap. They are holding their value, the 38 kilowatt Golfs, really well at the moment. And on Auto Trader, 20 grand is going to get you about a 2019 model, possibly a 2020. Now my favourite EV of all time, and I had it for a very short time because of lockdown and then redundancy. Hyundai Ioniq 28 kilowatt. Absolutely fantastic car, most efficient EV out there, along with the Tesla Model 3. Really good range for a 28 kilowatt battery. People on YouTube have these with 70, 80, 90,000 miles, and they plug in a doobie Watts into the port, and the batteries are still reading 100%. Excuse me a second. Not many cars would do that on a 2017 with that sort of mileage. So absolutely fantastic. Very, very efficient because of their streamlined shape. In the winter, you're going to get about 100, 110 miles range out of it. And in the summer, you're going to get 140 to 150 miles range out of it. Really efficient, very, very, very good regen, braking on the car. Excellent batteries in the 28 kilowatt. Definitely the one to go for. They do hold their value as well. You might be exceedingly lucky and get one at about 15 grand. They came out in 2016 on a 1666 plate. Mine was a 19 plate X demo. Loved the car. Hyundai dealers are absolutely fantastic. I found that there are various different stories you hear across the country. And dealers are dealers, aren't they? Whatever brand you buy, you get good and bad. But this would be my EV of choice. On to a bit of an oddball one, Mercedes B-Class. Once again, it's another dyno fuel car that's been converted to an EV. Not a particularly small car and not a particularly light car either. So Mercedes supply Tesla with a lot of switchgear, windows, gear levers, etc. And sort of as a trade-off, Tesla gave them the bit, or didn't give them, I'm sure they sold them to them, the bits for an EV version of the B-Class. So it's a 28 kilowatt battery in the big heavy B-Class and a Tesla motor, which is all quite good. They are very nice, very luxurious cars, don't get me wrong. They're going to cost you about 15, 16 grand. Obviously, 28 kilowatt battery in a big heavy car like that, it's a bit like a brick on wheels to be honest. I've had a diesel version back in the day myself. Very nice cars to drive. You're going to get really about 70, 80, 90 miles range out of one of these. Their weight and their unaerodynamic shape does not help. The big thing you have to think of with this speed class EV is that it does not rapid charge. So you need to be sure you're going from A to B, and you don't need to have a top-up charge at a petrol station or motorway services, because the vehicle won't. It'll slow charge, so you need to make sure if you're going somewhere, it's fine if you're going to work and you can plug it in at work for your 8-hour day, it will be virtually, if not fully charged up by the time you come out, depending on the speed of the charge, whether it's 7 kilowatt or 3 kilowatt. But if you're planning on tracking from Southampton up to Scotland, you're not going to do it in that. So worth a little think before you buy. Now we come on to Kia. Kia, the Soul. I love the look of these cars. They are a bit of a brick on the wheel and they're very unaerodynamic once again. But these have been out for quite a number of years now. I think most probably they came out about 2015, 2014 maybe, and they came out with a 28 kilowatt battery. They like Nissan Leafs at the moment. I believe that Nissan are just about changing this to CCS, but they also had the CHAdeMO charging socket, and that's something I'm going to talk about in another vlog, so I'm not going to go into too much detail there. But it's different to what most other cars use, which is CCS. They are big cars, bricks on wheels, perfectly reliable, etc. And they've got quite a few nice little gizmos and gadgets on. You'll get about 70, 80, maybe if you're lucky, 90 miles out of the 28 kilowatt. They upped it to a 30 kilowatt, I believe, shortly after, most probably about 2016, 2017. And you'll get about 100 miles out of one of those. They now come with a 64, I think it is 62, 64 kilowatt battery, and obviously you get a whole lot more. It's a whole different world, but you're in a whole different price bracket with those as well. You're in the high 20s for one of those, be about 27 grand. For the 28, 30 kilowatt, you're going to start up from about 14, 15 grand. And for 30 kilowatt, and you're most probably going to be looking about 17, 18 grand. Great cars, great family cars, but don't expect to get as much mileage out of that 28 kilowatt battery as you would the Ioniq. MG, there's a good old British brand now made in China by another company, and it's basically just branded up as MG. Very good vehicles though. There's a few odd rumours about rust, but I think these are quashed and dealt with by the dealer. And these vehicles come with a 7-year warranty on the whole car, not just the battery pack. The whole car has a 7-year warranty. The MG ZS, you'll get for around 19, 20 grand is where they start. They have two models, the Excite and the Exclusive. Cloth seats, leather seats, a few more gadgets and gizmos. From one of those, they're about 44 kilowatt battery pack. You're going to get about 140 mile range. Very good cars, thoroughly recommended. It is an SUV, but you've got that slightly bigger battery pack of 44 kilowatts, and that's giving you a fairly decent range of 140 miles, which is more than most people need in a day. Staying on MG, we've got the MG5, which is the first ever EV estate. And how fantastic, you just saw taxi drivers' eyes light up when this came onto the market. It's got a 52.5 kilowatt battery pack. You're going to get around between 190 and 210 miles range out of it. Once again, comes in the same MG, two different variants of Excite and Exclusive. Same thing, cloth seats, leather seats. I think one's got the same now, the other hasn't. Very good cars. Excuse the washing machine telling me it's done. Oh, I always time these things wrong. Really good estate cars. Once again, 7-year warranty across the whole car. not just the battery pack. Absolutely fantastic warranty on them. So well worth considering. These are going to set you back, start from about 20 grand. There are new models out currently with a bigger battery pack in, 62 kilowatts I believe it is, and you're going to get about 260 to 70 miles out of that battery pack. And you're going to spend about 26, 27 grand on one of those. And I have to touch on the base, even though it's slightly going over the price I set myself to look at on this vlog. Tesla. How can we not mention Tesla? Been going in America since 2012, been going in the UK since 2014. Yes, washing machine, I know you're done. Thank you. Came out with a Model S. I had a 2014, a late 2014 or a 6.4 plate Model S, had autopilot, etc. Technology beyond imagination, and it's a whole different world. It's quite scary actually when you first go into a Tesla that everything's can be repaired over the internet. Tesla can send a thing via the Wi-Fi to the car and it's repaired. It's absolutely amazing. They have rangers that come out to you, and they also have service centres which are increasing all the time. Up to recently, they had their exclusive chargers across the country, which was a big thing. And if you had a pre-2017 Model S, then that originally came with lifetime free charging, free supercharging at their chargers. However, if it has ever gone back to be part exchange and resold by Tesla.com, they will have removed that facility. Excuse me 1 second, my throat's as dry as a nose. That's better. So make sure, if that was something that's thinking, well, I can afford a Tesla as long as I don't have to pay for supercharging, make sure it's got it. Because if it hasn't, Tesla supercharging isn't expensive compared to others, but I believe you sign up to a plan and pay for it that way. So what models in the Tesla range? We've got the Model S. If you're looking at early one, 2012, 2014, 2015, you're going to be looking at a high mileage one from about 28 grand. You're most probably, in all honesty, going to be looking for a lower mileage one, about 33 grand plus. If you want the facelift model of the Model S, where it has a big bottom lip, do you like my impression then? They came out, I believe it was about 2015, 2016. You're going to be looking about 40, 42. You might get a high mileage one about 36, 38,000. Keep your eyes open on Auto Trader. Bear in mind, Teslas, both the motor and the battery pack are warranted for 8 years. The motor and the battery pack, not just the battery pack. A point worth noting. Then we come to the Model 3. Although it looks like it's a hatchback, it's actually a saloon, so it's got a boot. So if you're going into that boot a lot, and you will have that boot lid sticking up behind your head. But really efficient cars, along with the Hyundai Ioniq 28, the most efficient car on the EV on the market. Brilliant cars come in standard range, long range, performance. If you're going for a straightforward standard range one, you're going to get about, I think it's about 260 mile range out of it. And you're going to be start looking at about 36,000 plus, depends on the mileage. They have had slight upgrades. There's now several gigafactories making the Model 3. You've got America, you've got China, and now you've got Berlin as well. The latest Model Y, this is the one that the world's been waiting for, certainly in Europe. It's going to sell out like crazy. It's the new hatchback. It's only just come out. Absolutely fantastic cars. And this is, I think they're about 46, 50 grand. Absolutely fantastic vehicles. Once again, there'll be standard range, long range, and the, pardon me, performance. You have the Model X. Oh, gold wing doors. Do you like that? These are fantastic cars. They are big, as is the Model S big. That's the reason I got rid of mine. I got stuck in a couple of car parks a couple of times. And once you do have the remote thing on your phone to move it, in one of the updates that stopped working. And it was then that I got stuck in the car parks. Anyway, another story on that one. The Model X, fantastic cars, come in 5, 6 and 7 seat configurations. the rear doors are just so clever. And of course it's got the celebration mode on it where it does a little dance for you as well. The ultimate show-off car, but they are not cheap. Cheap as you're going to find them is going to be about mid 50,000s, about 56, 57,000, and going upwards. They come in various battery pack sizes, 70, 100 kilowatt battery packs. Just bear in mind, in cars, in EVs, the smaller the battery pack, the less time it takes to actually charge it from 0 to full. Mine's 28 kilowatt or 30 kilowatt, 28 kilowatt usable, and 4 hours on my home charger and it's charged up. If I had my Tesla, I'd only half charge it overnight. So if I was dependent on using all that 230, 260 miles range on my old Model S, 85 kilowatt, I wouldn't be able to do it all from charging overnight. Or I could do it overnight charging, but I wouldn't get it all at the cheap rate. So this basically has covered the Tesla range now as well. Well, I'm knackered. Hope that's cleared up what you can get for your money. I hope that was the best way of doing it as well. I was going to do it what you can get for 5, 6 grand, what you can get for 10, 11 grand, what you can get for 15 grand, what you can get for 20 grand, and what you can get over that. There are other models available. Of course, there's Polestar, you've got Porsche, you've got Lucid coming out, and there's loads of brands coming out all the time. And it's going to be like that for the foreseeable future. Thing is, get the best you can for your money, and if in doubt, there's loads of vlogs on YouTube to watch where people have tested cars and will tell you the pros and cons about them. And now it's time for... First bit of gossip, computer repair. I had my Fuji laptop repaired, the hard drive was knackered, the Windows had failed, oh my God. But this company, Solent Computers, or Solent Way Computers, they sorted it all out for me. New solid state hard drive, and oh, it's raining outside. No, I've got work in a minute. I'll take the dogs out in a minute before work, and it had new Windows installed. Now it's like brand new. It's as fast as that Tesla. so thank you, a big shout out to them. I did say they get a mention. Thank you very much. Don't hesitate to give them a call. I'm not going to cover them up there, and I'll just show you the other side. So you got their emails and website and telephone number up in the corner. It's quicker than me having to type it on the screen. Also, big thanks to a vlogger, Life of Riley, canal boat vlogger. He's a really great guy, this guy. He does some fantastic cruises in his narrowboat, and also been very helpful. You might remember a few vlogs ago I cancelled or deleted a lot of my music vlogs purely because I had a copyright infringement come up on YouTube about them, and me thinking I can't afford anything like this, so I hit delete, and thinking that's got me out of that, thank goodness. Life of Riley came along and did mention to me, sadly after I'd done it, so mentioned to me that if I was earning money on those particular vlogs, then the money earned would go to the copyright rather than me. So as I'm not earning money through YouTube for the foreseeable future, because you don't hit subscribe, no one gets any money out of it, me or the copyright. So I could have left them up. But once they're deleted on YouTube, they're deleted. So I will try and put some more up sometime soon. A big shout out to Downland Vets, my vets that I use for my doglets, or all my pets. Yes, Toto, that's right. I mentioned vets. He's sitting there being very well behaved. And dogs have been a little bit ill both ends. We're not too sure what it is, but it's all gradually going, and yeah, the great patience of the vets and the wonderful receptionist there. Thank you very much. That about winds it up for this week. Thank you very, very much for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like and share. There will be another vlog coming out about EVs. Thank you, Toto. It's actually on my knee. Going into some things like the charging ports on the car, the different types of chargers that you can charge your car up with. Spot the dog. And all about regen braking and just how much that puts on, or how much of a charge it actually puts into your travel. Roughly about a quarter to a third of all my power I use in the car is from regen, totally free through braking. Wow. Anyway, you take the utmost care, love one another, and as it's increasing again, please stay safe. Hugs and God bless.